In a world with way too many podcasts comes Jeptalion and This Guy, the podcast to end all podcasts. With some pieced together recording equipment, a couple loosely informed topics, and a coin, these three friends set out to forever change the next hour of your life.
Jeptalion and This Guy is solely for entertainment purposes. Just Ferrick and Morgan are not professional researchers, investigators, or gynecologists. Not suitable for children.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Jeptalion and This Guy, coming at you from the seedy underbelly of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm Joseph.
I'm Morgan.
And I'm Eric.
Groovy, man.
Hey, man, that's groovy.
All right, so we get together and talk about stuff, catch up with each other. One of us displays a topic, and the other two tease them about it and possibly tease them about themselves personally. Good?
Oh, there'll be teasing. Personal teasing.
I brought my feather.
Fucking that. What does that mean?
For teasing.
Ew. Like anal teasing? With a feather?
Tickle the back of your nuts or something? Is that what we're doing now? It's not me, it's the feather.
Oh, God. Jesus.
I'm just holding it with my teeth.
Oh, I'm the only one without an energy drink. What is that? Vanilla Coke coffee?
Vanilla Coke coffee, yeah.
What the fuck is that shit?
It tastes like Coca-Cola and coffee mixed together. Pretty awesome. I've been more on the coffee than on the energy drinks. I feel like coffee is a better price and a longer burn for my energy. Energy drink is like good if I want to get totally whacked out for like 45 minutes and then go to sleep. Coffee will keep me going all night.
You drink energy drinks with sugar in them.
Man, I do whatever.
Yeah, you do what the fuck you want, don't you?
I'm fucking unpredictable, dude. Anything could happen.
Anything.
All right. Well, shit. What you been getting into, Eric? Anything groovy?
I had stuff. I don't know. Go to Morgan.
Eric's like living vicariously through Morgan's activities. So, Morgan, what's Eric been up to lately?
I had, we all know I had COVID, and then my kids got it. Oh, I think I told you guys that their mom got it
Yes.
on the last episode, and then Brian and Nathan ended up getting it.
Damn.
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 So I went down and picked up Landon, and I've had Landon since then. Up until this weekend, they got off of their quarantine and stuff, so I took Landon back and got Bri. But Landon is like the most animated kid. He's always got something to do. He's never like bored unless you're like, sit down right here, don't move, watch this TV show. Then he's fucking bored. But I mean, he could be in a completely empty house and have shit to do. You know, it's just really neat to watch him go off into this world that I'm not a part of unless he chooses to include me. But, you know, he spent most of the week with Brandy because she was working remotely at home, and he did his schoolwork and he got it done. I mean, he didn't have to sit down and cram on his schoolwork. You know, he could do a little bit here, a little bit there, as long as it was turned in by the next day or whatever. And he did great, man. He got good grades on his tests and stuff. That's my story.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, I didn't have shit.
dang. Still nothing?
No, I had migraines. I guess I have migraines.
Cool. Hey, man, that
Yeah.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Annie said she thinks that's what they are. I said, well, do they have like a test for them or something? And she said, no, they just kind of, you know, if you fit the symptoms. But the thing is that migraines, those symptoms could fit other things too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a whole set of
guess.
symptoms for migraines that also could be other things. So,
Yeah, maybe it's the frequency of it or something.
what do you mean?
How often it happens or like a sound?
How often it happens.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would guess mine are stress induced because it's not like I have headaches a lot, but it's been known that I have, you know, I get headaches from time to time that last pretty long. But in the past month, I had 2 that lasted for about 3 days apiece, which my head doesn't hurt the whole time. It's just like one day my head hurts really bad. The other days it hurts, but I have like blurred vision. I'm not hungry. I'm sensitive to light, stuff like that. So
Oh, I get those. I get like headaches sometimes where it's like in the eyes, and like if sunlight's on my face, I feel like I'm gonna cry because it hurts so bad.
It hurts your face because you're a vampire.
What you're holding so everybody knows, Justice holding his hand over his eyeball. That's like one of the signs of a migraine. Is it's like
Yeah, it feels like my
behind one of your eyes.
yeah, like there's something in the
Oh, damn.
brow of my bone or something. It's
Yeah.
just breaking my skull or something. It's horrible.
It's different. I'll get sinus pain, but it's different than sinus pain because, you know, sinuses, I can feel it all in my cheekbones and my eyes, but this is like, yeah, it's like right behind an eyeball.
Yeah, I find if I sit in a dark room, it seems to help.
To vampires, the dark is always better.
Yeah.
But you can't get much done in a dark room if you know.
Yeah.
You can't make a living sitting at, well, I guess you could. Never mind.
But I hate complaining about my illnesses. I feel like I'm sick all the time because of the depression, being sick all the time. Yeah.
How about you, Joseph? What the fuck has been going on with you the last couple weeks?
My oldest son is now talking about joining the Marines.
Oh, yeah. Hoorah! Or something like that.
I think URA is the Army. Simplify. So he's talking about joining the Marines. And this recruiter comes by the house he's like shorter than Cash and looks younger than Cash. But everything else about him is like the dude's like he's like a man, you know, but he just looks really young and everything. Because I guess he is, because that's the military doesn't go after like old people, you know, they want young people because young people take risks.
There's a Ken Burns documentary called The War about World War II, and it's like a 7-part series or some shit. And I've watched it a bunch because I like, you know, that. But I was just watching one, and it had this footage of the soldiers that the German army, Hitler, the Nazis, were trying to gather up all their troops for one big, like, last surprise attack.
Yeah.
And anyone from like the age of like 14 or something, that may not be correct, but it was young to like 60, they made eligible to fight. So they were showing this footage of these kids. I mean, they looked 4 years younger than Cash, wearing like full on military gear.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the helmet's like too big for their head.
Yeah, that's what sticks out about it, is this tiny little head with this huge mushroom tip.
That's really sad.
Damn, I thought Morgan had checked out early.
No, I was looking up something because I thought I remembered it correctly, and I remembered it incorrectly.
And then let's see, I hung out with Nicholas the other day, and I think it's because it was like an anniversary of it or something recently, but he was re-informing me of the assassination of William McKinley by Leon Chilgosh.
Oh shit.
Which I think is just so bizarre that he just
knows that.
He knows that, and he's into that.
Yeah.
You know?
I really like that about him, his knowledge of presidents and stuff.
It's weird. It's not weird. It's fascinating.
It's unique.
And my oldest son does not have COVID.
Oh, yeah, I meant to ask you about that. Why did he get tested? He was sick?
Yeah, he got tested because he wasn't feeling well. Then it came out that a student that he sits next to in one of his classes got COVID, and then he started not feeling well again, and he came home, and so we tested him again today per the instructions on the internet. Test immediately, and then test like 3 to 5 days after close contact with an infected individual.
Oh, I didn't know test immediately. Was there...
They both came back negative.
Cool. Good. That's good to know.
So, per Wikipedia, I looked this up real quick about the German soldiers. Alfred Zeck, also known as Alfred Czech, was a German child soldier who received the Iron Cross, 2nd class, at the age of 12.
Wow.
Damn. How do you get it? How do you get one of those medals?
I don't know, like Skin a Jew or something. I don't know.
You guys see that movie? You probably didn't, with Scarlett Johansson.
They didn't like Jewish people.
No, they didn't.
Sorry.
Fucking assholes.
I can't remember the name of it. Scarlett Johansson. It's like Jojo Rabbit or something.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. Jojo Rabbit. That's what it's called. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, about the little kid Nazis in training camps.
The guy that plays Hitler and the guy that directed it
He's
was the one
Takarikiki or whatever,
that did Thor.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, and is doing Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? It's a movie that glorifies Nazis.
No,
It has like Nazi protagonists. Is that what's going on here?
well, the kid is into Nazis, but he's struggling with.
Oh,
It's not pro-Nazi.
I think I read about this. I
It's-
did not see it, but I think I read that it's a older woman who has pedophilic sex with a young Nazi boy.
No, that's another movie with the chick from. That's not the same movie.
I was gonna say that is not what happens in this movie.
No, this one's like
Oh.
a comedy
Wait,
/ drama.
What's that movie Joseph's talking about? Hold on.
I think that's isn't that the one with the lady from Titanic that
Julianne
came
Moore?
out years
Or-
ago?
is that her name?
No, she
Kate
played
Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
I think that might be a movie she was in. I didn't know it was pedophilic, but she plays an older German lady who's having sex with like a younger guy.
To be fair, I haven't seen it. I've only read an article about it.
Did it come out recently, or this was some years ago?
I think it was recently because I remember it, sort of. Or maybe that means it was long ago. I got terrible memory. All right, so I guess this is running on for a while. Sorry, Morgan.
No, you're all right. You guys
Okay.
you guys are gonna let me do a no coin flip, or are we flipping a coin?
Well, I'm defaulting because I ain't got a topic with me. Fresh out of topics. Unless you just want me to talk about stuff. Ain't nobody want
Oh
that.
God, no.
So, you want to give us a little taste of what it is?
I think I decided to go ahead and take the research that I have. I think I got enough compiled here and go over American obesity the best I can.
Oh, word,
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to go over obesity.
cool.
Obesity. Like,
An observational study of Eric's life.
You like how I brought like a bag of keto snacks and then a family-sized bag of peanut M&Ms?
that you're like tearing up while we're trying to do a serious thing here.
damn, I should have feel unprepared. Okay.
Where's my feed bag?
Well, let's take a break then.
Hi there. Are you a new listener who has no clue what's going on right now?
Are you questioning how your life went so horribly wrong that you were listening to this garbage?
Well, we're Jack
Italian.
And this guy.
with 7 tips that may help you understand our show.
But will probably further confuse or alienate you.
Baby, we gonna give you 7 tips.
1.
Accept that your life is not what you thought it would be.
You are a failure.
2. You may not be in the winner's circle.
The winner's circle.
We have a lot of inside jokes. If you don't understand, I guess you're on the outside, so fucking do better.
C. Our topics are only meant to pique your interest and start conversations. If you missed it in the intro,
Joseph, Eric, and Morgan are not professional researchers, investigators, or gynecologists. Not suitable for children.
4. We harass each other for fun. Eric likes to make fun of my age, and I not so secretly hate his guts.
Why?
5. I look like a Wahlberg brother or Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained. Calm down, ladies. I'm taken by a very, very beautiful woman.
Number potato.
you should really look into the joys of prostate play. Men actually have a G-spot in their butts.
Whoa, hey, what the fuck?
Bro, do you ever stop talking about your ass?
I bet your shit just slides right on out, doesn't it?
Yes.
7. I don't want to do this anymore. So we're back from that. Man, they gave me chills. All right, so we're back, and Morgan has... I don't know what
Wow.
that was. It was like a stroke or something.
Joseph's making fun of people with the stutter, and Morgan's about to fat shame. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Morgan's got a topic on fat shaming.
Oh, wow. That's,
Obesity in the United States. Is that what we're doing?
yeah, we're doing obesity in the United States. And I've some research here, and it's kind of mixed up, and I don't know exactly where to start.
That's some big research.
That's what she said. Is it?
Yeah,
you
it's
got
really
different
large.
color text on there.
That's like
Yeah, so I would
Fancy.
different sources,
extra large research.
supersized, if you will.
Uh-huh.
That's some That's some big veiny research you've got
Oh
there.
my God, it's throbbing. Yeah. So, what is obese?
Yeah, like who determines that?
Yeah. Well, our BMI determines it, apparently. Somebody who is obese has a BMI of 30 or higher. Somebody who's morbidly obese has a BMI of 40 or higher.
Yeah.
And the BMI, for those who don't know, is your body mass index, which is a measure of body fat based on height and weight that applies to adult men and women, really. I mean, we used to get it in school, though. They'd like use that pincher.
Yeah.
Did you guys have that when you were a kid,
on
Joseph?
your arm, little metal.
Yeah, they would
Forceps.
take calipers and they would measure our skulls. And
No,
if your
not
skull
those
was the
pincher.
wrong shape, you got on a train and you never
What?
were seen again.
That was-
Jesus, the dark ages.
that skull measuring was a part of
I
that
know.
whole thing with the Nazi. What's it called?
Cranium.
No, the thing where the whole thing, the Nazi stuff was based on with the genetics.
Oh,
There was that whole science that they
Yeah.
no longer follow. I can't think of the fucking name
I
of
can't
it.
think of it
we
either.
did it.
I know what you're talking
We did
about.
it in this country too. We followed
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for a little while.
It'll come to us.
But yeah, they would take a little pincher, and what'd you say? The back, they'd pinch the back of your arm.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'd get that little fucking shit under your shoulder blade, the wing.
Oh, I ain't got any of that.
Oh God, here we go with this.
I've heard,
I'm at 0 BMI.
especially recently with like body positivity movement and stuff, I've heard criticisms of the BMI as like a measurement, but I don't know fully what those
Oh
criticisms
damn!
are.
I was hoping you.
I think my guess would be it's kind of vague because it's only got a couple inputs for like all these different body types.
Yeah,
Like a BMI only includes like a couple different numbers.
I mean, you look at a BMI, Joseph. According to your BMI, you're overweight. Am I wrong?
I'm pretty sure I'm overweight.
Yeah, but there's a difference between overweight and obese, also. But yeah, I mean, and Joseph's thin.
I'm not overweight for an American, I don't think. But if
Yeah.
you drop me like in Italy or something, people be like, "Look at that fat fuck."
I think they said that they take into consideration for the overweight. They take into it said that there's a lot of people that are overweight but not obese because of their muscle mass or something like that. You know?
Right.
There's like water plays part in it. There's just different variables that can make you overweight for your height and your age.
Right.
But you're not obese because the fat isn't.
Right.
Oh, it's all
playing
my
a part.
muscle because I'm so
Okay.
fucking ripped.
All right. I think you're just retaining water
I'm on my moon.
in the head. You're like a loggerhead turtle.
Water on the brain.
Going through the curse.
So this says Americans are 12th in the world with a 37% of the country is, and that's adults over 20. 30% are overweight or obese. 36% are men and 31% are women.
We're not number one
Uh,
in being fat.
No, we're 12th in the world.
What the fuck, America?
Do you know who number one is? Just out of curiosity.
I
Fucking
don't. I
Russians.
looked at the stuff for our country, but
Yeah.
not for the whole world. No.
The fucking Russians, Chinese.
I would
probably beat us
imagine
to
it's
it.
Samoa. You know, I found out, and this is in some of the later research, but Samoa was like 93% obese.
Wow.
Golly.
Yeah. And it's some stuff
Golly.
that's later in my research about it. But and I thought Samoa's not part of America, huh? It's not like a Commonwealth or
wow.
something.
I believe
I
it's a
don't know.
territory.
Is it a
Yeah.
territory?
Yeah, a territory.
Like Puerto Rico or
Yeah, where we take advantage of them, but don't give them any of the
I
benefits
think they're
of being
even a
Americans.
step down from Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
You know, Puerto Rico's got like one representative in Congress, but they're not allowed to do anything.
What?
Yeah. They can come there and they can have the floor every once in a while, but they can't like vote in anything.
Well, they don't pay any taxes. They don't pay
Yeah.
any of our taxes. You
Yeah,
know, the same
it's-
ones we pay and stuff.
America Samoa is the only unincorporated territory of the United States where
We treat 'em like
inhabitants are
garbage.
not
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
citizens at birth.
Well, it kind
Oh,
of
wow.
sucks because in limbo. Like they can't do their own thing because of us.
Well, they can't, right?
Right.
So one of the things I'll just say real quick, the thing that I found out about Samoa was that something we do as Americans, our poultry farmers send over there this part of the turkey. It's like basically the turkey butt. But it's a part of the turkey that has a gland in it right under the tail, and this gland secretes an oil that lubricates the tail feathers and stuff.
Sounds like prostate play.
So, Joseph's checking out. Look at him.
That's
over
a
there.
Samoan dude. He don't look overweight to me.
Yeah. Well, there's another 7%, and it's like
That's him.
It's like Dwayne the Rock Johnson and his brothers.
But I think that's so real buff, like guys like that, they still, because of BMI, they still measure high on the BMI. I think that's one of the criticisms of it.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Dude, look at that shit.
I don't know what to tell you.
Damn.
What, you found 2 guys that weren't overweight, so now you don't believe it?
So these American poultry farmers are sending over these turkey butts, and they're loaded down with lard and just grease and all kinds of shit in it. That's what we send to Samoa, and we're like, here,
Wow.
eat this. We don't want it here. You eat it.
Yeah.
And so this woman, and I watched an interview with her. She basically was like, I'm making it my life's mission to get rid of turkey butts. And she did. And in 2007, she got rid of them, right? From Samoa. She was like, we're cut off. We're no more turkey butts over here. We want fucking, good stuff. But also, Samoa wanted to join the WTO. And America is huge in the World Trade Organization. Or is that what it is?
I thought it was a wrestling federation.
I think it's World Trade Organization.
World Trade Organization, yeah.
That's a guess.
America's huge in it, and they blocked Samoa from joining until they lifted their ban on turkey butts. Dead serious.
Wow.
That's fucking ridiculous to me. Like, really?
Take our turkey butts.
Really?
Or else.
We can't just throw them in the trash?
Or
Bury them?
Feed them to animals?
Or feed them to
fish
animals?
or
Yeah.
something?
Why do we have to fucking, why? Because we want fucking control over them.
There's not somebody who's like, I
Probably.
want turkey butts?
Maybe.
That might be a thing.
It's not Samoa, though. They don't want them, but since they have them, they might as well just, make use of them. Anyways, I thought that was fucking crazy.
That's kind of awful.
Bringing it back, 35% of South Carolinians make us number 10 in the country for the most obese.
All right.
We're in the
Doing
top
my
10.
part.
Yeah.
Woo!
Like 80% of that's my mom. Ba-doop-doo.
Damn. Mom joke time.
If she moved out of the state, we would all be elevated to a higher plane of existence.
Wow.
You're like
Yikes.
doing your own mom.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, this information I'm reading right now came from worldpopulationreview.com. I don't know if that's a credible source. Mississippi is the highest. That's number 1 in obesity in the United States, with 40% of the population obese. Yeah. And then that Colorado is the lowest with 23% of the population. So obesity is a result of several factors such as overeating, lack of physical activity, poor diet choices, genetics, I don't buy, metabolism,
Did
and
you say
culture.
You don't buy? Come on. Be a dick.
I like to throw that in. What's the genetics?
Genetics play a huge role in
But
weight gain.
what is the genetics? I think I found some of it in my research, but
I don't know. I'm not a geneticist, but
Damn it.
the way that you process food, the where on your body that fat is stored, things like that are genetics. Like my body shape is due to my genetics. I mean, if I lost weight, it would be different. But every time I gain weight, it's the same, which actually puts me at risk for heart attack because belly fat is some of the worst fat to maintain on your body.
I don't mean to sound insensitive.
Genetics play a big role.
Yeah, Morgan doesn't mean the sound and
Yeah.
I can't say it without laughing.
What a dick. I honestly don't mean to sound insensitive, and I know that I do. I remember going through school, and I think it started in middle school and then all the way through high school. There would be kids that always had like the thyroid thing going on, and maybe because it wasn't me, I had a hard time wrapping my head around it. And also I would watch them eat.
Yeah.
I felt like their food choices played more of a part probably than the thyroid.
Because of that one meal that you saw him eat at school.
Damn it, this son of a bitch.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe I'm just holding on to it.
Sorry, you fat bastards. I'm overweight. I can make those
God.
jokes.
Here I am fat shaming, and I thought Eric was joking. So, genetics, metabolism, and culture. Americans are more likely to consume simple carbohydrates, convenient fast food, and processed prepackaged foods. These foods tend to be higher in calories, less filling, less nutrient dense, causing people to consume more calories than they need. The caloric surplus combined with lack of physical activity and exercise causes weight gain over time.
Yeah.
So that's Colorado's secret, is that more people are active in Colorado. They're outdoors, they're going skiing and, rolling over buildings with bulldozers.
Yeah, that's right.
Welded into tanks.
Takes a lot of work to build a killdozer.
Yeah.
Checking those marijuana crops.
Yeah, they got to go and harvest their crops. But yeah, so it says that Colorado's lifestyle is attributed directly to them being the lowest obese state in the nation. People just eat better. They want to eat the healthy nuts and, the kind bars. And
I wonder if people who are heavier set are more attractive to people who live in Colorado because it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing that's different is oftentimes found attractive. Like blonde hair and blue eyes is like a small portion of the population on the planet.
So what you're saying is maybe the people in Colorado that are better fit find the more obese
because in a way it's exotic.
Like, ooh, never
They're
seen
like,
a
she's got a
thicky
little
thick like you.
She's a thick girl. Don't get a lot of that around here.
I don't know, but weight is something that changes as far as attractiveness over time.
How do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like in the 1800s, it
Or
was
right now.
more attractive if you were large.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might have been more like 1700s. But
Yeah, like the Renaissance era when you were more attractive because it seemed like you had more money if you could eat well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays thicker women are considered more attractive
In
than
the
what I was
90s.
taught when I was young.
Oh, yeah.
In the 90s, you had to like shoot heroin and live off of lettuce to be attractive. So, like,
Yeah.
like
Did,
everybody was.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember looking at like models, like pictures of them when they weren't on the runway and stuff,
Stick
and
figures.
just it was, to me that's gross. I like thicker.
You like a little extra
I shouldn't say
cushion.
gross, but when you can see like bones sticking out and stuff, I don't like bony.
Bony.
Gross was not the right word.
Oh,
Wow.
thanks for clarifying
Thin
that.
shaming people.
Wow. So it says that Mississippi, going back to the most obese state, has their actual obesity rate is 40.8%. And they also have the lowest life expectancy of 74.5 years. West Virginia is right behind them with 39.7% obesity rate and the highest rate of type 2 diabetes in the U.S. So this other thing I found on usnews.com says it's not simply a matter of overindulgence or a lack of self-control. Obesity researcher, and this might be the thing that I found on genetics. Let's see. Dr. George Bray said, at the first annual U.S. News Combating Childhood Obesity Summit, that's a long title, held at Texas Children's Hospital in May, he said obesity isn't a disease of willpower, it's a biological problem. Genes load the gun and the environment pulls the trigger. The article that I got that out of didn't go into...
Can you do that in a funny voice? His
well,
quote.
since it's in Texas, no. Obesity isn't a disease of willpower. It's a disease. It's a biological problem. Genes load the gun, and the environment pulls the trigger. Pow!
That's pretty good.
All right. That was good. I feel better now, thanks.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. And then I watched this. You guys, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's got a Netflix show. Hassan Minhaj. Are you guys familiar with him? He's a Middle Eastern guy, almost like a stand-up comic. He does this thing like, oh, what's that fucking show on HBO with the British guy that's from
Idiot
Last
Abroad?
Week Tonight.
Yes, Last Week Tonight. What's his name?
John Oliver.
John Oliver. Yeah. So this guy does a show that's similar to John Oliver, but he stands up the whole time and he's like really animated and he makes a lot of jokes and stuff. But I noticed that the information that goes up on the screen behind him has his sources there. So this is from The Patriot Act is the name of his show. The Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj. And you can find the episode on Netflix about obesity and find all the sources for the information I'm going to give you from that show.
Okay.
That's how I cite my sources.
I did not cite my sources on the last one I did.
What was the last one you did? Elise Lam?
Butterfly People of
Oh,
Joplin,
Butterfly
Missouri.
People. Yeah. Did you do that on purpose?
No, I just forgot to do it. I had them written down on the side of
shit.
my page. There were like 6 of them. I just forgot to say it, and no one called me out.
This is kind of how the American obesity thing started, because we were pretty fit, and I don't know that I guess we, America kind of ate healthy because the food that we ate was all that we had to eat. But in the early 70s, I was listening to your episode, the last one I think you did when Tom was here.
Yeah.
I was listening to that episode today, and I heard some stuff like the computer program started, that computer program for the end of the world.
Like 73 or
It was in the
72.
early 70s. Yeah. And you talked about capitalists coming together and trying to figure out, how to make the world.
Right. Not just them, but scientists,
Oh, yeah.
businessmen,
just
politicians.
Well, how did you put it, though? They came together to kind of look at what the future would look like to plan for the future.
Right.
Yeah. So it's funny because in the early 70s, that's when food began to skyrocket. The USSR was buying up a lot of the grain and oilseed products. And that's what I think that stuff like that had to do with probably why they were like freaking out and like, we got to figure out what the future looks like,
Right.
That just went through my head when I was listening to your episode and I had this information kind of fresh in my brain. So the USSR was buying up a lot of the grain and oilseed products in the world globally. A shift from the gold standard to the floating exchange rate devalued the dollar. Global weather conditions created shortfalls in production and stuff. I think there was a lot of stuff going on around the whole world weather-wise at the time. And policies were put in place that subsidized the idling of croplands. So they started to regulate, what the farmers were doing here. So President Nixon strongly encouraged the farmers to start growing like cheap crops. And one of the cheapest crops is corn. And when they produced all that corn, they wanted to see what else they could do with it. And here comes high fructose corn syrup. And high fructose corn syrup is in it seems like it's in everything. It's almost like if you're not buying meat or vegetables, you're buying high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn and soybeans are like in everything.
Yeah, soybeans
they make
are
that
too,
shit
yeah.
into everything.
So it was a documentary or something I watched, also talked about in the 70s how there were some different entities got together that had business interests and whatever, health interests, and try to determine like what was a healthy diet. And they've done it several times throughout the years. But that might have been, I don't know, did you grow up with the food pyramid, Joseph?
Yes, we had the food pyramid.
I remember before the food pyramid, we had a food wheel. We would grind down all our grains and go down to the river with the old washboard. Oh, those were the days. We'd pluck daisies and eat them while laying in a field, and then we'd go play in sewage for some reason. When did I get so old? When, goddamn you! Then it had to be later than the food pyramid. Anyways, the information that I remember is like fat was considered the culprit that they went after for unhealthy like fat. So get rid of fat. When you take fat out of stuff, it loses its flavor. So they started dumping sugar and everything. And we had all this extra corn. So then they figured out corn syrup and, you could make things sweet without sugar.
Yeah. They said it was, I don't mean to cut you off. They said it was like 70% cheaper to use the corn syrup than to use sugar, which is huge for corporations and stuff, you know?
Yeah. So the thing I saw was talking about what role does sugar play in obesity because of that. I wish I remembered the specifics. It might have been, it might have been called Sugar. I think there was a documentary called Sugar or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
There's your note. There's your half remembered source information. I watch a lot of documentaries. I just remember them specifically talking about fat and how they took all these fats away. But when you do that, you take the healthy fats away too. And then you pump people full of sugar, and that's not sugar creates that cycle of crash and burn thing where you burn it all, you crash.
Yeah.
You burn it, you crash. So you're constantly craving more calories, basically, because it's a simple carbohydrate.
And I think you brought it up in the break about sugar attacking the part of your brain that creates the dopamine. So it's like a dopamine hit, right? And that's something else that people that draws them back to it, you know? Like I know that sometimes I'll do the keto diet and I'll be completely off sugar, you know, and use substitutes that are approved by the diet or lifestyle. And then once I have some sugar, it's like an hour, 2 hours later, I need more. Like, damn, that was fucking good. I need like a bowl of cereal or something.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was good. I need like a bowl of ice cream now, you know?
Yeah.
It's like dope.
Yeah.
And
It's
I could
tough.
see that totally being a contributor. The fact that it hits that receptor in your brain that could be a factor into obesity too. You know? Definitely is.
I was talking to a friend of mine that we all know, and she has like a weight thing that she does and or lives with or whatever.
My mom.
And she explained to me that when she eats like, say, chocolate chip cookies, she gets this like euphoria rush.
Yeah.
Like when she used to use drugs. And I don't get that. Like I love chocolate chip cookies, but when I eat a chocolate chip cookie, it is not anything like shooting cocaine in my arm.
Maybe you're not an addict, Joseph.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that nobody gets the experience of shooting coke in their arm from eating a cookie.
Yeah.
I mean, you may get some sense
Well,
of euphoria.
that's just what she described. She said there was like a euphoria with it, and I don't get like a
Well,
I don't get that.
She might have, and I think I shared about it in the addiction. Shared about it. I talked about it in the addiction episode. That, you know, when our brain gets used to coming home at 5 o'clock and having something, you know, it was drugs or alcohol, whatever I said then on that episode. But, you know, she might come home at 5 o'clock and need that fucking cookie when she sits down to turn on the news or Jeopardy or whatever the fuck she watches.
Yeah,
you know?
and
And when she
decompress from the day.
and decompress, and when she sits on the couch, kicks off her shoes, she's whipped off her bra already, you know, and she pops in that fucking Oreo cookie or chocolate chip cookie, whatever, and it's just like there it is. Yes,
Yeah.
I need it tonight.
Mine's at night. I get that at night. I want it really, like the snacks and stuff. I push that back till like going to bedtime,
No shit.
which really started when I was a kid because I didn't know at the time, but my adopted dad they would like get stoned right after we went to sleep, and then he'd go out to get munchies, and when he'd come back, my mom would sometimes wake us all up, and we'd go eat cookies with them while they were like high as hell, and I didn't know. I was a kid. I didn't know they were high. I knew I was eating cookies, but
That was probably a pleasant memory of your youth.
yeah, it is. It was one of the fun times. Like, but that's when I crave sweets the most is at night. But I haven't been eating sweets for a few weeks. I don't know what to do with myself at night. Like I get very anxious. I've actually had to take more of my anxiety medicine at night because I'm getting so, like, I get all worked up. I don't know what to fucking do with myself.
The very first time I did the keto diet, you know, I was living with my friends, the Amandas, at the time, and I was
The Amandas.
yeah, but well, and I was really big on, you know, if I'm up past 9 o'clock, I would eat some what's that shit called? Ben and Jerry's, like, you know, the Tonight dough or whatever.
Oh yeah, the
chocolate
tonight,
chip
yeah.
cookie dough.
Yeah, some of that shit. Would you say vagina?
Yeah.
Or the toffee coffee. Oh man,
Chunky
I wish
monkey.
I could eat ice cream again.
Yeah. Aw.
I miss
Anyways,
ice cream.
Enough about Joseph. No, I was really into eating cookies and ice cream at night, or those little fucking single slices of pie, like cream pie or key lime pie that you can buy. God, dog, man, I'm about to go grocery shopping. And then I started the keto diet, and I did no sugar for like 2 months. I didn't do any desserts at all. You know, the closest I got to dessert was those fat bombs in the morning.
Yeah.
And I would find myself at night coming home and decompressing, getting undressed, take a shower, all that, and then I'd be sitting there like, fuck, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And I would just go to fuck to bed. I'd be like, well, I'm going to sleep because I need something to eat, and I'm not supposed to with this diet or whatever.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned on the Patriot Act show, and then I saw it on another like PBS YouTube video, was how we have pushed our American obesity out into the world. You know, it's not just American now. India, China. I think one of those shows said that China is almost leading the world in obesity, and I think it's because of their population more than anything.
Yeah.
But fucking Mexico. I think we talked about it earlier. The world, or not, NAFTA. NAFTA made the, you know, North American Free Trade Agreement.
Right.
And we started dumping shit on fucking Mexico with this. And Mexico's like, oh, thank God, finally we can have Coca-Cola. Thank God we can finally have Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's free trade now. So they said, one of the politicians in Mexico said that it's disgusting. They said they're sending all their good food up here, and we're sending all our bullshit down there. And he said that the babies, instead of having baby formula in their bottles, they'll have Coca-Cola in their bottles. And that's fucking disgusting to me. You know, for us to think about, it's fucking disgusting. Yeah. But that's what they're doing down there. Well, that's what he said anyways on the thing that I watched. But Coca-Cola did this thing in the 80s where they tried to, because they've been like the biggest proponent of unhealthy lifestyle. Right. So they did this thing in the 80s here in America that they got called out on. But they basically said that being overweight and being obese is caused by no physical activity. Don't worry about what you're putting in your body. You need to be outside more. And really, the exercise part of losing weight is like...
It's like 20%.
Exactly. It's like 20% of losing weight. So 80% is what you put in your body. And they got called out on that. Everybody, all the news outlets were like, this is what Coca-Cola is trying to say. So they took that bullshit over to China, and they were like, hey, yeah. And China's like, fuck yeah, let's do that. You know, because they want their customers unhealthy. They want them dying. You hear that fucking semi out there on the interstate?
It felt like, you know, when a friend had real deep bass in their car, it felt like my balls were trembling for a second. Sorry.
But yeah, and now it's spreading all over the world, and it's, you know, goes back to the thing with Samoa too. And I think we've even done that here in the United States with Native Americans, dumping lard and stuff on them, you know?
Well, the other two things that can affect it big time are poverty and location, which location's tied to poverty.
Mm-hmm.
It's one. So say you're a working mom, the dad's not at home, which is like a common thing if people are below the poverty line. You don't have a lot of time to cook meals. You know, you're definitely not going to be buying vegetables and shit that are expensive. So you can go to McDonald's, and what you can buy at McDonald's for $5 is probably twice as much as what you can get in, like, you know, things at the grocery store that are healthier.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ties into obesity as well. Plus, there's a thing called food deserts where people who don't have good transportation, especially in urban areas, don't have access to good healthy food right around the corner. That they've got like a gas station or a bodega or something like that where they can grab shit. They basically
Yeah.
eat shit.
That's like
Wow.
Broad River Road. There's like no grocery store up there.
Yeah, and the nicer the places that sell the nicer, like I always think avocado because that's kind of like
It's the bougie fucking fruit.
right.
Yeah.
You don't find those places don't pop up in the middle of fucking urban America. You know well unless it's
you're
like,
not getting a Whole Foods
right,
on fucking Broad River Road.
right.
Yeah.
Not yet. Now that they got rid of the Walmart and the grocery stores, the cost of all that land up there is going to go down. Then it's going to get bought up. Then it's going to get regentrified. There'll be a Whole Foods up there eventually.
Damn, you got a lot of faith.
You got all the answers to life over there.
I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving.
Yeah, that's really a lot of what I had. I honestly wish there was more, but you guys know I started researching this months ago, right? And it was really difficult to find stuff specifically on American obesity. It was really difficult. And I don't know if they're trying to keep it from us or make us forget about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it just wasn't there. I had to search hard to find some of this stuff.
Huh. That
A
is
lot of it
strange.
directed me to childhood obesity, which is a thing, and it's increased like, God, what did it say? Something since the 80s, it's gone up like 30% or something like that. And I don't.
On Family Guy, they had this character in like a little clip they showed called Diabeto. Little Diabeto. This is
Like the fucking like the Bill from that cartoon. Was it something like that?
He was like a overweight Hispanic kid. He's like, I mean, he was like real big, so big
damn.
his arms like wouldn't bend and stuff. Little Diabeto.
Aw, poor little Diabeto. You
But
know,
yeah,
I did
when
it.
you feed kids that stuff, it's even worse on a developing body than it is on an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry a lot about I worry a lot about my oldest son being picked on and stuff for his weight. You know, we have this thing where his heart rate's always really high. He's got tachycardia, and I tried to talk to his mom about how much fucking Coke and Mountain Dew these kids drink because I don't have control over that. I have some control at my house, and they, you know, the drinks at my house are like Coke Zeros and Dr. Pepper Zeros and waters. And that's what I have at my house for the kids. But that's not what they're drinking over there, you know? I don't know. I worry a lot about him with that. And I did a lot of fat shaming to my one of my brothers when I was growing up. And then in middle school, it happened to me. And I wasn't even like fat. I just got this haircut that was weird, and the girl was like, "Why'd you cut your hair like that? It makes you look fat," or something like that. Yeah. And just hearing that and how I felt about myself because of that comment, it opened my eyes a little bit. And I still, you know, obviously picked on my brother, and you know, because I didn't like him.
I was
Still
shamed.
picked on him, but you felt bad about it?
Well,
while you were
now
doing
I
it?
won't do it. I won't fat shame
Oh,
people.
okay.
Like Joseph makes a lot of jokes, you know,
Yeah.
and he's got opinions about overweight people that I can't do it, man. I can't say the things I used to is the thing. I used to be real bad about it, and I just can't do it.
I'm bad about still making jokes towards myself, but it's still harmful, you know? Mine, believe it or not, when I was younger, mine was being skinny. That's what I was always picked at about. I'd be called like beanpole, and my mom would like force me to eat more. Not, you know, physically shove it in my mouth, but was always making comments about you need to eat more and just, you know, shit like that. But it had an effect on the way that I looked at my body and feeling like my body wasn't right, quote unquote.
Damn.
Which is the same thing that you know, when people are bigger. I've also, you know, one of the things that bothers me is who's coming up with these what the right BMI is, because it's not always medical institutions that are influencing these, or they don't have all of the influence.
Right.
Sometimes it's other entities that may have other interests in mind when they come
Like
up with
physical
that
trainers.
stuff. Yeah, like who knows who the fuck is lobbying that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I've heard things about like in the 80s, a lot of those diet pill things were lobbying like what the right body weight should be and stuff because they wanted everybody buying their products. Now, I don't know. I didn't fact check that, but just knowing how our lobbying works with government and the type of things that we come up with through government to different initiatives and stuff to promote health, it wouldn't surprise me if people for monetary gain were trying to influence what we thought of as healthy. Because, you know, like back in the 20s, women used to be thicker. You know, like 1920s and stuff, women just had a thicker body shape. Even men didn't have, you know, you didn't see these like huge cut up bulky men like you see
guys
now.
weren't,
Fit guys would like, there was another Family Guy thing where you don't know if somebody's fit until they let their breath out. Because, you know, men all like puff their chest out. Back then, your belt was like almost below your nipples. So you wouldn't know how big and bad somebody was until they let their breath out. And then you're like, oh, he's just a big guy. I almost did a fat shame.
I remember when Coke came out, made the change to corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. Because I remember Coke tasted really good. Then they were like, we got new Coke. And it tasted like shit, and nobody liked it, which I think was intentional. And then they're like, oh, well, since y'all don't like the new Coke, we brought back the original, which was not the original because it now has high fructose corn syrup in it.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, that doesn't taste the same either. But I guess this is what we're doing now. And we did it for years until Mexico started sending their Coke up here.
I thought I read in the news that Coke just...
You keep saying Coke, and I'm getting lost on which one you're talking about.
I think I read in the news that they just altered their recipe again. I could be wrong about that.
What the fuck, Coke?
The best thing Coke's ever done in my lifetime is the Zero, because now the Zero spread to Pepsi, and Pepsi Zero is so much better than Diet Pepsi.
Oh, cool.
I tried it, and it's, you know, I can't even drink a regular Coke anymore. They're so fucking sweet.
A long time ago, I was doing some work at a school. It's actually Cash's, where Cash goes to high school. I was doing some work up there, and the only thing I had to drink was what was in the vending machines there. And I hit Sprite Zero button. I was like, well, fuck, all they have is Sprite Zero. Because it's a high school, and none of those kids took all the other drinks, and all that was left was Sprite Zero. But I drank it, and I was like, fuck, that shit tastes like Sprite.
Right in the middle of school.
Fuck! I'm like, holy fucking shit!
My favorite thing about Coke is their marketing, like their the lettering on their cans and the illustrations that they use and their products and stuff.
Marketing ass motherfuckers. They're the ones that made Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa
fucking
Claus
red.
and all those Christmas images.
Yeah,
that shit's good. They did a great job on that. They did some nice works of art with that.
The polar bears.
The polar bears, right?
How touching. A memory.
Now go work out and don't worry about what you're putting in your body. Thanks, Coke.
Dude, just from watching what I'm eating for a couple weeks, I've lost almost 10 pounds. And I've changed. I mean, I'm a little bit more active, but haven't been like working out.
Wow. I lost a bunch of weight on COVID. I gained more back.
I thought you were going to say on Coke.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I've been working out. I punched a pit bull in the head the other day and knocked his ass out.
Damn.
Wow.
There you go.
Follow up to that.
Okay. All right. That's all we get.
All right.
That's it. That's my topic. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's cool.
Well, thank you for the topic. Have a good evening.
Have a good morning time.
Or have a good night.
Oh, what?
It's the same as evening.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy told me to let her know when we're started.
A moment of silence. Whoa! Man! Okay. Morgan has... I don't know what that was. It was like a stroke or something.
Well, there's a...
That's right.
Damn.
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 Damn.